Hello everyone, welcome back to Data Communication video lecturing sessions. In the present video session, I'll be explaining data link layer protocols. So we know that the data link layer deals with error control and flow control. So in the case of data link layer, we can make use of 4 different protocols like first one is simple protocol. First one is simple protocol. Second one is stop and wait protocol and wait protocol. Third one is go back N protocol. Fourth one is selective repeat protocol. Selective repeat protocol. So these are the major 4 protocols which can be used in the case of data link layer. But the first 2 protocols like simple protocol and stop and wait protocol still are in use. But these 2 protocols are already disappeared. So we'll see one by one, that means simple protocol and stop and wait protocol in the case of data link layer and how we can achieve error control and flow control using those 2 protocols. First we'll consider simple protocol. So in the case of simple protocol, we can assume that receiver can immediately handle any frame it receives. So in the diagram we can clearly observe that we are having the sending node as well as the receiving node. We are having the sending node as well as the receiving node, and both sending and receiving node we consider 2 layers, the network layer as well as the data link layer. So now here the network layer sends the packet to the data link layer at the sending node. Initially the network layer, so this is nothing but packet. So the packet will be sent from the network layer to the data link layer. So now the data link layer, it generates the frame by considering the packet. So it will create the frame. The data link layer create the frame out of the packet whatever it received from the network layer, and it will transmit that frame into the receiving node. So once again across the receiving node, so we have the data link layer and the network layer. So the data link layer of the receiving node receives the frame and it will extract the actual packet out of the frame. That means it removes additional information from the frame and it will extract the actual data, that is nothing but packet, and it will transmit that packet into the network layer. So this is how simple protocol works. So we can clearly say that the data link layer located at the sending node as well as the receiving node provides the transmission service. It provides transmission service for the network layer which is located at the sending node as well as the network layer which is located at the receiving node. FSM for the simple protocol. So now I'll consider sending node and the receiving node. So if this is a sending node and if this is a receiving node, both sending and receiving node consisting of network layer and the data link layer. So this is sending node. So this is nothing but receiving node. So now the sender side should not send a frame until its network layer has some data which is to be transmitted to the receiver node. So that means the sender side cannot send a frame until its network layer has a message to send. So similarly, across the receiver side, the receiver cannot deliver the message into the network layer until a frame arrives from the sending node to the receiving node. So in the case of FSM, we have only one state, that is nothing but ready state at the sending node as well as receiving node. So it remains in the same state until the request comes from the network layer. So we know that the initial state at the sending node is nothing but the ready state. So it remains in the same state until the request comes from the network layer. So whenever the packet arrives from the network layer into the data link layer, it receives the packet and it will encapsulate the packet into a frame. So after encapsulating the packet into frame, the sending node will send the data into the receiving node. The receiving node, it will receive the frame until the frame arrives, till that the state will be in the ready mode itself. So whenever the frame is received by the receiving node, it will extract, that means it will encapsulate the packet from packet information from the frame, and it will deliver that respective packet to the network layer. Simple protocol flow diagram is considered here. So we know that sending node consisting of two layers here. We considered network layer as well as data link layer. Initially the network layer, it will transmit the packet into the data link layer, and data link layer, it will encapsulate the packet into frame, and frame will be transferred into the data link layer at the receiver side, and the receiver side data link layer, it will decapsulate the packet from the frame and it will transmit the actual information, that means packet, into the network layer. Similarly, this case also, the packet is arrived at the data link layer. Data link layer, it will encapsulate the packet into frame, and frame will be received at the data link layer of the receiving node. It will extract the packet informations from the frame, and it will transmit the data into the network layer. Stop and wait protocol. Stop and wait protocol can be used in order to provide flow control and error control. In the case of stop and wait protocol, sender sends one frame at a time and wait for an acknowledgement from the receiving node before sending the next frame. So in order to detect the corrupted frame, we can use CRC. We can use CRC along with each and every frame. So suppose the CRC is incorrect, such frames can be discarded at the destination node. While sending the frame, each time the sender sends the data along with the timer information. If the acknowledgement is received, suppose an acknowledgement is received before the timer expires, then only the sending node can send the next frame. Suppose an acknowledgement is not received, at that instant, and the timer is expired, at that instant we can assume that such frames are lost in the transmission medium. Suppose the acknowledgement is not received and the timer is expired, at that instant the sending node guarantees that that respective frame is not yet received at the destination, and it need to retransmit the same frame once again. That means the sender need to maintain a copy of the frame until the successful transmission. Until the successful transmission, the sender need to keep or maintain the copy of the message. So here we can clearly observe that the sending node, it can send the frame along with the CRC. So after successful transmission, at the receiving node, from the frame the actual data can be or packet can be extracted and it can be transmitted into the network layer, and the receiving node can send an acknowledgement to the sending node. So after receiving this particular acknowledgement, then only the sending node is allowed to transmit the next message along with the timer information. The diagram shows FSM for stop and wait protocol. So we can observe that at the sending node we have two states. The first one is ready state, second one is the blocking state. So the sender is initially in the ready state. That means the sender is waiting to receive the packet from the network layer. So whenever the packet arrives from the network layer at the data link layer, make a frame, save a copy and send the frame into the receiver, that means to the receiving node, and start the timer. So at the blocking state, we can consider three events. The first one is timeout, corrupted acknowledgement is arrived and error-free acknowledgement is arrived. So we'll see what happens during timeout. So whenever the timer is out, so at the blocking state, resend the saved frame, restart the timer. So two actions we can consider: resend the saved frame and restart the timer. So whenever the corrupted acknowledgement is arrived, so we can directly discard that respective acknowledgement. Suppose error-free acknowledgement is arrived, first thing is stop the timer, discard the saved message. So similarly at the receiving node we have only one state, that is ready state, with two events. So the corrupted frame arrived at the receiver node, so what we can do is we can directly discard the frame. Suppose error-free frame is arrived, extract the packet from the frame and transmit that respective packet to the network layer and send an acknowledgement to the sending node. So now we will consider flow diagram for stop and wait protocol. So initially the network layer will transmit the packet into the data link layer. So this is at the sending node. The frame will be transmitted to the data link layer of the receiving node. The receiving node data link layer, it will transmit the packet after extracting the packet from the frame. An acknowledgement, that is nothing but positive acknowledgement, is sent. Along with that, initially we have to start the timer. So we'll consider case 2. The packet is transmitted but frame is lost somewhere. So the timer is out. So in such instant the frame need to be retransmitted, that is frame resent. So case 3, where an acknowledgement is lost. The packet is transmitted, here encapsulate the packet into frame and the same packet is arrived at the destination or receiving node, but after successful transmission an acknowledgement is sent, but that acknowledgement is lost in the transmission media. So what exactly the receiver sender thinks that since the timer is expired and acknowledgement is not received, once again it will retransmit the same frame. So that means duplicate copy of same packet at the destination or receiving node. As of now we consider two protocols. First one is simple protocol and second one is stop and wait protocol. Both the protocols were designed in order to perform the communication in one direction. That means these two are designed, simple and stop and wait protocol are designed for unidirectional communication. Unidirectional communication. That means node A can send the data to node B and node B can send an acknowledgement to node A. But in order to improve the performance, we need to have the communication in both the direction, that is bidirectional communication. So in the case of piggybacking, what we can do is, suppose if you are having node A and node B. Node A sends the data to node B, data in the sense frame, and after successful transmission, node B can send an acknowledgement to node A. So now in the case of piggybacking, suppose node B has some data to send to node A. At that instant, along with the acknowledgement, node B can add the data. So now the communication becomes bidirectional. Along with the acknowledgement, suppose node B has some data to send to node A, it can add the data along with the acknowledgement. But since this kind of bidirectional communication is complex one, it is not in a common practice. For any queries, please mail me at sadhana.b@canaraengineering.in. Thank you.